Get ready, because what I'm about to tell you may be the most shocking development you've heard this entire year. And if you're holding Iraqi Dinar or following the revaluation storyline, you cannot afford to blink right now. So before we go any further, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and keep your notifications on so you never miss a critical update. Because this week something massive is unfolding inside Al-Rafidain Bank that could change everything. Right now, insiders are reporting that the bank has moved into what many are calling the notification preparation phase, and that phrase alone has ignited more energy across the IQD community than anything we've heard in months. Multiple internal departments, according to these sources, have been verifying client accounts, syncing digital records, and updating the banking systems that would be required before any kind of official alert or activation stage can be released. And what's striking is the timing, because this activity aligns almost perfectly with the Central Bank of Iraq's push for modernization, compliance, and digital restructuring over these last few weeks. People who have been tracking the RV developments know that Al-Rafidain Bank is not just any institution. It is one of the oldest, most influential, and most strategically positioned banks in Iraq, meaning if major monetary steps are about to unfold, Al-Rafidain would absolutely be one of the first to move. And now, with reports suggesting that internal communication channels are being prepped for notifications, speculation is rising that the bank is preparing for a big reveal, potentially tied to the long-awaited reforms everyone has been waiting for. The internal chatter claims that teams have been running test messages, auditing digital vault entries, reviewing international transfer protocols, and cross-checking identity records to ensure that when the system switches into activation mode, everything hits instantly without delays. Think about the significance of that. Banks do not perform this level of synchronized preparation unless something meaningful is on the horizon. Analysts following the currency reform roadmap have always emphasized that Iraq's revaluation would not just drop out of nowhere. Instead, it would be preceded by a unique combination of signals, including bank-level synchronization, heightened government communication, increased CBI confidence, and a sudden tightening of informational leaks, and right now every one of those signs is flashing at the same time. This is why the buzz is exploding internationally, because if the notification phase really is beginning, then the possibility of Iraq moving into a major monetary shift is not just speculation anymore. It becomes a real, tangible step that holds weight in the financial world. That means for you, the viewer, staying informed is not just optional, it's essential, because if anything becomes official, reactions will be immediate, global markets may respond, and you'll want to be ahead of the curve. So stay with me, because what's happening inside Al-Rafidain Bank this week could be the strongest sign, yet that Iraq is finally stepping into the phase we've all been watching for. Now, as these internal preparations intensify, you need to understand why Al-Rafidain Bank is at the center of this week's attention and why their timing is raising eyebrows across the entire Dinar community. So, if you're listening right now, make sure you tap that like button and stay locked in, because things are moving faster than many expected. Al-Rafidain has historically been linked directly to government-backed financial procedures, major reforms, pension distributions, salary structuring, and public sector account management, and whenever large-scale changes occur inside Iraq's monetary system, this bank tends to be the first affected. That means any signal coming out of Al-Rafidain carries real weight, especially when the rumor mill begins pointing toward RV-related notifications. What's even more compelling is that sources claim the bank is aligning final technical components with the central bank's digital platforms, which suggests a coordinated movement rather than isolated activity. At the same time, system engineers within several Iraqi banks have reported running synchronization cycles and verification sweeps, a standard procedure before any regional activation step, and that is exactly why this moment feels different. Usually these types of bank operations remain quiet and scattered, but this time they appear unified, consistent, and happening across multiple financial institutions. People close to the matter say the notification window is not being treated as speculation anymore. Instead, it's being managed like an upcoming event that requires precision, timing, and readiness. With 2025 approaching, Iraq has been pressured to stabilize its economy, strengthen the dinar's credibility, and position itself for long-term financial growth in the global arena. A major piece of that puzzle is monetary reform, which is why many analysts believe Iraq could be preparing to send the strongest signals, yet that they are ready to move. Behind the scenes, banks are double-checking account eligibility, international compliance standards, cross-border transaction rules, and security protocols to ensure that if notifications do go live, everything operates flawlessly. Meanwhile, subtle signals from CBI officials suggest that Iraq wants to show the world it has matured economically and is capable of executing policy changes with accuracy and confidence. If these signals are connected to RV readiness, then this week becomes extremely important. For IQD holders, the preparation phase means being alert, staying informed, and watching for the moment when confirmation becomes undeniable. Every financial shift in history begins with small indicators before the big announcement arrives, and right now those small indicators are starting to glow brighter than any point in the past year. So listen carefully, because Al-Rafidain Bank may be standing right at the doorway of a transition that could shape the 2025 exchange landscape, and you do not want to be the person who finds out after everyone else has already moved ahead. As we come into the final stretch of this update, I need you to pay close attention because what's happening right now may be the most important moment since Iraq began its modern monetary reform journey, so hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed because if notifications start this week, you need to know immediately. At this stage, banks across Iraq are not just preparing, they are aligning, updating, syncing, and calibrating their systems in ways that are only seen before a major financial shift. Insiders have described a sense of urgency inside multiple institutions, especially within digital service departments that have been instructed to minimize downtime and increase monitoring. This kind of activity almost always precedes activation windows, and given the timing, it points strongly towards something bigger than routine maintenance. Analysts who study global financial patterns are also noticing that several international indicators are lining up at the same time. Regional currency adjustments, oil market stabilization, increased foreign investor discussions, and Iraq's push towards stronger international partnerships. All of these elements paint the same picture. Iraq is preparing to step into a higher financial status and wants its currency to reflect that growth. Government officials have recently displayed stronger confidence, speaking more openly about reforms, economic stabilization, and improved financial governance. When a country begins publicly embracing reform rhetoric while banks quietly prepare transactional systems, it almost always signals that something is nearing completion behind closed doors. For IQD holders, this moment is critical because if Al-Rafidain Bank really is entering the notification phase, then the next steps could unfold faster than anyone expects. Being ready means understanding the process. Notifications arrive, accounts get flagged for eligibility, activation windows open, and banks transition into the new operational mode. The global markets may respond instantly as Iraq positions itself for a more powerful economic identity. The key right now is awareness, because we could be witnessing the final groundwork leading up to something the community has waited years to see. Momentum is building not slowly, but rapidly, and every piece of evidence suggests that Iraq is aligning itself for a major transition. Whether this week becomes the moment of confirmation or the final rehearsal, what's certain is that the direction is clear and the movement is accelerating. So stay alert, stay informed, and stay connected, because the wave that many IQD holders have been waiting for may finally be forming on the horizon, and if it rises this week, it could change everything in a single moment.